The main characteristics of an effective government are, first of all, that they set some priorities. They know what they want to do. Second, that for each of those priorities, they have some data that will tell them whether they're making progress or not. Thirdly, that they have a plan for implementing each of the priorities. Fourthly, that they routinely check whether they're making progress. Fifthly, that they solve problems as they arise. When you implement anything big in a country, you're going to run into some problems. Can you solve them as you go? And then finally, you keep at it until you do actually get the job done, so you don't get distracted as you go through. These are the characteristics of an effective government. Of course, around all that, you also have to generate democratic legitimacy, have a dialogue with the people of the country, be honest, use data, show integrity. I think but first of all, the leader of the government, the president or the prime minister, needs to spell out what the priorities are. So one way to define them is to set them out in a speech or an address to Congress, or in the United States, the State of the Union, or we call it in Britain the Queen's Speech. You can set out your priorities in an agenda. But then as implied in your question, you need to define that well, and that does mean using some numbers. So you say, I want to improve the health service, and this is how you'll know. We'll see fewer people waiting for operations, we'll see higher levels of quality, we'll see ultimately reductions in mortality and growth in life expectancy. But it's a very difficult thing for a government to balance this focus on priorities and these daily and weekly contingencies. This is what happens in every government, all over the world. And the important thing is for either a minister and the president or prime minister to have part of their operation that is just focused on the priorities, and whenever all these distractions come up, this part of the operation stays focused on the priorities. That was my job for Tony Blair. He deals with September the 11th, 2001, with a war in Afghanistan, a war in Iraq. I can't be distracted. I just do healthcare, education, crime, and transport, and improving these things. So I'm focused on that. And any country, any government needs part of the senior administration focused on delivering the priorities, whatever else happens.